Ice and cold has always been a therapy which I think is very useful for me personally. I've always done ice baths a lot in my playing days, and I do believe that cold ice is something which recovers you like crazy. And so for me, cryo would be still my best therapy. I think the whole journey and the whole preparation and the tournament itself were very magical in that sense. The All England has a lot of history. It's a lot of legacy and a lot of nostalgia to it in some sense. So, in that arena, to win behind all the greats, to win a tournament where you have always, as a child, dreamt of, is something which is really wonderful. So I think I have lots of very good memories of that arena and the win. I do meditate. It's something which truly I love. Apart from that, big fan of yoga nidra, something which I do. Going for long walks is something which I really love. Three things, and spend time with the family. So off days are mostly spent at home, relaxing, a book to read, and just sleep a lot. Ice and cold has always been a therapy which I think is very useful for me personally. I've always done ice baths a lot in my playing days, and I do believe that cold ice is something which recovers you like crazy. And so for me, cryo would be still my best therapy. I think the whole journey and the whole preparation and the tournament itself were very magical in that sense. The All England has a lot of history. It's a lot of legacy and a lot of nostalgia to it in some sense. So in that arena, to win behind all the greats, to win a tournament where you have always, as a child, dreamt of, is something which is really wonderful. So I think I have lots of very good memories of that arena and the win. I do meditate. It's something which truly I love. Apart from that, big fan of yoga nidra, something which I do. Going for long walks is something which I really love. Three things, and spend time with the family. So off days are mostly spent at home, relaxing, a book to read, and just sleep a lot.
Welcome to the New Indian Express, the grand launch of the Wellness Co. in partnership with Gopichand Academy. Joining us is Mr. Pullela Gopichand, Chief National Coach, India National Badminton Team, to talk about this exciting partnership and his inspiring journey. Sir, firstly, congratulations on this exciting launch. How do you feel about this new wellness clinic opening at your academy?
Very excited. It's a beautiful place. I think in today's day and age, especially for sports persons, but in general for everybody, I think health and longevity or well-being seems to be something which we are all talking about. So in this space, I think what we have here at Wellness Co, whether it's the oxygen chambers or whether it's the cold and the hot therapies or the training modalities, I think there's a lot to offer for everybody who is interested in the space of well-being. Athletes definitely do benefit, but also I think for the generic population, it's very, very useful.
Amazing. So, what made you decide to partner with the Wellness Co, and what excited you the most about this idea?
Well, the fact is that sports persons require all these therapies, and Wellness Co has been somebody who's maintained the place. They've actually have the best of technologies, they have the best of people, and also the ambience which is created, I think makes it a unique product. And for us as sports persons, we would have to travel far distances for each of them. If you want to go and get a hypoxy chamber or a cryotherapy or an infrared sauna, I think they are very high specialized units which are not there in one place. To have them all there in one place, to have the expertise to manage them and to recommend what is required for you, I think is something which Wellness Co has done very well. And it just seemed a very right partnership because what we look for is what we are getting offered. And so we're very happy with this partnership.
Amazing. Since there are so many amazing therapies, How do you think these will help athletes recover and perform better? In what ways?
Well, I think ice is something which has always been. So we would traditionally do an ice bath, ice plunge. We would do cold packs. And to have cryo, full body cryo, localized cryo is something which actually just gets that to a next level. You would have oxygenation through various modes of pranayam, but to actually have higher quality of oxygen in the air to you breathe, I think helps that cause. To have an infrared therapies and to have them joined together with hot and cold therapies, I think it just makes it a combination which is very useful for athletes to recover and also to enhance their performance.
Since there are so many therapies, which one is your favorite and why?
Well, ice and cold has always been a therapy which I think is very useful for me personally. I've always done ice baths a lot in my playing days, and I do believe that cold ice is something which recovers you like crazy. And so for me, cryo would be still my best therapy.
So, how has the conversation around fitness and recovery changed in the last 10 years in Indian sports? Because you've been a part of the industry for a very long time.
Well, I think sport in India in the last 10 years has grown tremendously. I think the focus and effort which the government has given over the last few years has ensured that today people are looking at high performance in sports as a career as a major option. And today, when we look at this entire space internationally, you would know that being physically in the best of shape, not only for tournaments, but to be turning up in the best shape recovered through deep sleep, through good nutrition, good oxygenation, and also good mind space. I think all of these are very, very important parts of recovery. And this was almost non existent a few years ago. And today, in the sporting place and also in generic population, I think people generally are looking at health and fitness from an overarching perspective, not necessarily only as sports persons, but I think a generic CEO going or a entrepreneur is looking, or a housewife is looking at how they feel much more deeply. And all of these which were modalities which were there useful for athletes at the highest level are today available to a common population. So that's something which is very unique.
You have shaped many champions. What has been the proudest moment for you as a coach?
Well, I think I would definitely say that whenever you win an Olympic medal or a World Championship medal or a performance which elevates or breaks new barriers, I think these are performances which you feel really proud about. At a certain point of time, a district championship or a state championship would feel proud. When you cross those, then the next barrier seems important. For me, Team India, Thomas Cup, Badminton Asia, Women's Team Championship, Thomas Cup, Olympics, World Championship. These are all medals which you feel really proud of.
Amazing. So, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced as a player, be it physically, emotionally?
Well, I think every athlete goes through his or her own challenges. I've had my share of knee surgeries. I've had 4 knee surgeries on my playing days. So 30 years ago, to have an ACL tear and to recover from it to play badminton at the highest level was not thought of as much. But I was fortunate. I had some good doctors to help me out. I had a cartilage meniscus. I had multiple surgeries to recover from it. But God's grace, I've been able to get through. So physically, it's been painful. Resources-wise, it's been painful. But it's been a journey which you truly enjoy as an athlete. And today, to set up the academy, to see players grow from here, to see the sport be growing, I think is something which is very, very nice.
Amazing. So, what changes have you seen in the way athletes train now compared to when you started?
I think the base fundamentals are the same. I don't think there's much of a difference from that. Your weight trainings or your recoveries have gone far better. The roles of nutrition is much more appreciated. The role of physiotherapy and recovery modalities, whether it's ice or heat or whether it's massage or electromagnetic therapies. I think all of these are things which are a lot more appreciated now than they were before. And today, when you look at athletes, and the team around them, they actually spend a lot more time dwelling deep into the other aspects of sport beyond just the practice sessions.
Okay. So, winning All England Championship in 2001 was a turning point in Indian badminton. What do you remember most about that moment?
Well, I think the whole journey and the whole preparation and the tournament itself were very magical in that sense. The All England has a lot of history. It's a lot of legacy and a lot of nostalgia to it in some sense. So, in that arena, to win behind all the greats, to win a tournament where you have always, as a child, dreamt of, is something which is really wonderful. So I think I have lots of very good memories of that arena and the win.
Any therapy over here that you are personally very excited to try?
I've tried the cryo. I really love it. Yeah, in due course, I think I would want to try the hyperbaric chamber because to be in an oxygen depleted place and to train there, having a feel of how it feels to be on a high altitude is something which I would love to try.
Amazing. So, off court days, how do you relax and unwind? Any personal wellness routines that you follow every day?
Well, I do meditate. It's something which truly I love. Apart from that, a big fan of yoga nidra. Something which I do. Going for long walks is something which I really love. Three things, and yeah, spend time with the family. So off days are mostly spent at home, relaxing, a book to read, and just sleep a lot.
So, what's the recent book that you've read?
I was actually reading the book on Adi Shankaracharya, and it's something which I think is amazing.
Amazing. So, you've built one of the finest badminton academies here in Hyderabad. What was the toughest part of setting it up in the early days?
Funds, permissions, political interference. Yeah, I think in which order should you put it, but I think whichever, I think each of these were challenges.
Okay. So, how was your transition from a player to coach been? Was it difficult? The switch, was it difficult, like being on the other side of the court?
Well, I've always loved to play, and I just feel being a coach is a very dreamlike extension of your playing days. So I feel very blessed about having an opportunity to wear a t-shirt and shorts for work every day. I think that's a privilege I think very few people have, and you could be on a playing ground 30 years after you've played, and then you can still be in your playing clothes is something I think is a privilege very few people have. So I respect that, I enjoy that, and I'm very grateful to be able to influence the lives and more importantly be a part of what I love for so long.
You've spoken, about spirituality and mental strength being very important. So, how does that play into how you coach and into your personal life as well?
I don't think it's any different. The person who you are is not like the person who you are, and the spiritual person who you are I think basically the same. So I don't think there's a difference in that aspect. For me, I think it just makes you more creative. If you're able to keep your thoughts clean, your heart pure, and you just are able to think clearly, and also in that space of openness, I think your creativity becomes better and your subtle understanding of the laws becomes much better. So I think in some sense, I would look at this as just basically enhances your performance in a way.
Amazing. Last question, future plans, any collaborations that people should look forward for?
I think education, sport, the new education policy, government's push towards sport. India's become, unfortunately, the obese capital of the world, the diabetic capital of the world. I think we are looking at a young India which has a big problem. I think to see these things being addressed right from a young age, all the way to an old age, I think is important for us. And some work on that, which I'm passionate about. Hopefully, we'll see more of that.
Amazing. Thank you so much, sir. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you.